You've spent years watching for the big, obvious signs that your dog is happy. The wild tail at the door, the spin in the kitchen, the full body crash into your legs the second you walk in. And you're not wrong. Those moments are real, and they matter. But here's the thing most owners never get told. The truest signs that your dog is genuinely happy are quieter than that, softer, easier to miss. And most of them, you have been looking right past for years. It's the long sigh as they fold down beside you. The loose, wobbling walk down the hallway when nothing special is even happening. The way they drift, without a sound, into whatever room you happen to be standing in. No one ever taught us to read the quiet signals. We were taught to watch for the loud ones. The jumping, the barking, the spinning at the door. So all the soft stuff slips by. Not because you don't pay attention to your dog, but because no one ever named it for you. So today, we're naming all 9. And number 7 is the one almost every owner misses because it looks like the smallest, simplest thing in the world. Number 1, the whole body wiggle. You think it's just hyper-greeting energy. Your dog is completely losing it because you walked through the door. But look a little closer next time. A truly relaxed dog can't hold their body stiff, even when they try. The wag doesn't stay politely in the tail. It takes over the whole back half, the hips swinging, the spine bending into a soft, happy curve. Almost a banana shape, the nose nearly coming around to meet the tail. Here's what's actually happening. In a dog, tension shows up as stillness, a freeze, a hold, a hardness through the shoulders. Ease shows up as the opposite, loose, fluid, sloppy motion. So when the whole body goes wobbly like that, the looseness itself is the message. It's the body saying, with no words at all, there is nothing here I need to brace against. Nothing to manage. Nothing to fear. That's why you've had those moments in the hallway where their entire back end swings side to side and their paws can barely keep up with the rest of them. It looks goofy. It is goofy. It's also one of the most honest things your dog can ever show you. And here's what makes it worth trusting. Your dog can't summon that wobble on command, and they can't fake it into being. It only surfaces when the body has nothing left to brace against, which is exactly why it reads so clean. The stiff, polite, tail-only version is something a nervous dog can still hold together. The full, sloppy, hips-everywhere version is something only an easy dog ever lets happen. Stiffness hides. Happiness wiggles. Number 2, the play bow. You think they're just stretching. Front legs down, back end up in the air, tail swishing. But pay attention to when it happens. Not first thing in the morning when they're working out the overnight stiffness, but right in the middle of a romp when they're already facing you. That's not a stretch. That's a sentence. It's called a play bow, and it's one of the most studied gestures your dog has. Back in 1995, the biologist Mark Bekoff described it as a clear, ritualized signal, a way of saying, I want to play, or let's keep going. It starts a game off, and just as often, it restarts one that paused for a second. The pair freezes, someone drops into a bow, and the whole thing kicks right back to life. So when your dog folds into that bow, holds it for half a heartbeat, then explodes sideways across the living room, they're not loosening a muscle. They're inviting you in. They're asking, in the only grammar they have. And notice who they offer it to. A dog doesn't drop into a play bow in front of something they're unsure of, or someone they're quietly bracing around. The bow is a door held open. It tends to swing only toward a person or a playmate they already feel easy and safe with. So when it's aimed at you, across the living room, it isn't only I want to play. It's I feel good enough, with you, to want more of this. It's the closest thing your dog has to a wink. Number 3, soft eyes and the slow blink. You think they're just getting sleepy. Those half-closed eyes, that slow, lazy blink from across the room. But sleepiness and contentment look almost identical from the outside. And a lot of the time, what you're actually watching is the second one. Here's what most people don't realize. A dog's emotional state tends to live in the tension of their face, especially around the eyes. A happy, settled dog usually carries what people call soft eyes. Almond-shaped, a smooth brow, the lid's a little heavy, no hard edges, and crucially, no white showing at the corners. Now hold that against its opposite. Trainers have a name for the stressed version, whale eye. A round, wide eye with a thin crescent of white, the face of a dog who's quietly bracing for something they don't like. So the soft eye, the slow blink, appears to be the calm opposite of all that. It tends to show up only when a dog feels there's nothing to track, nothing to manage, nothing coming for them. And there's a small, tender thing folded inside it. That slow blink, the deliberate, unhurried close and open, is something a calm dog will often aim right at you. Not past you, at you. Think about that for a second. When your dog catches your eye across the room, lids low and blinks slow, they're not drifting off to sleep. They're telling you the room is safe enough to soften in, and that you are part of why it's safe. A hard stare guards, a soft blink trusts. Number 4, the belly up sprawl. You think they just found a comfortable position, flopped over on their back, legs in the air, completely undignified, not a care in the world. But stop for a second and think about what that posture actually exposes. The belly is the one part of a dog that the whole body is built to protect. It's soft, it's where everything vital sits, and it has no defense at all. So a dog who sleeps rolled fully open, spine on the floor, paws curled loosely in the air, is making a statement with their entire body, without making a sound. There is nothing here I need to guard against. The nervous system has stood all the way down. Cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to stay low. The muscles let go. The breathing slows and deepens into the kind of sleep a wary animal never quite lets itself reach. And here's the part that matters most. A dog will usually only sleep like that in a place they read as completely safe. Not mostly safe. Not safe enough. Completely. It isn't a position they can fake, and it isn't one they'll risk anywhere they feel they have to keep one eye open or one ear turned toward the door. That's why you've found them upside down in a patch of afternoon sun, paws frozen mid-air, mouth slightly open, dead to the world. Right in the middle of a room, with you moving around in it, the dishwasher running, the day going on around them. They heard all of it. And they stayed open anyway. They didn't just get comfortable, they got safe. Number 5, the settling sigh. You think they're tired, maybe a little bored. That long, heavy exhale as they drop down next to your chair and go quiet. But that sigh isn't fatigue. It's punctuation. A full stop at the end of a sentence only your dog can feel. Here's what's actually happening. That deep, settling sigh tends to mark a shift inside the body. A move out of the alert, ready, scanning state and into the parasympathetic one, the system in charge of rest, digestion, repair. Heart rate eases off, muscles unclench. It's the physical sound of a dog downshifting, gear by gear, closing the day, choosing to power all the way down right here, in your company, instead of anywhere else in the whole house they could have gone. And they do choose it. Notice where the sigh happens. Not in the far corner. Not behind the couch, right at your feet, against the leg of your chair, close enough to hear you breathing. Sometimes you'll catch a second, smaller one a few minutes later, deep in sleep. The body letting go of one more layer it didn't need to hold on to. So the next time you catch it, that heavy exhale right as their weight hits the floor beside you, followed by a stillness that settles over the entire room. Listen to what it's really saying. Some sighs mean I'm tired. Some mean I'm finally done. This one means I'm home. And if this is changing how you see your dog, all the quiet stuff you'd half noticed for years and never had a name for, take 1 second to subscribe. It genuinely helps us reach more owners who actually want to understand what their dog has been trying to tell them all along. Number 6, the zoomies. You think your dog has completely lost their mind. The sudden, frantic lapse. Front end dropped low, eyes wide, ears pinned, hairpin turns around the furniture like the floor has turned to lava. It looks like pure chaos. It isn't. And it is not your dog misbehaving. Behaviorists actually have a name for it. The zoomies, or more formally, frenetic random activity periods. And here's what's worth knowing about when they tend to happen. They fire right after the good things. A bath. A long play session. The sound of your key turning in the door. They show up in wobbly young puppies and in grey-faced senior dogs alike, which is part of why they read less like a malfunction and more like a feature. A clean burst of pure, positive energy that's been building with absolutely nowhere to go and has finally found somewhere to put it. That's why you've watched them rip a perfect figure eight around the couch the second you got home, knock a cushion sideways, clip the corner of the rug, then skid to a stop right at your feet, mouth open in that loose, happy pant, completely delighted with themselves. 30 seconds later, it's over, and they flop down like none of it ever happened. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to calm it down. That's not a dog out of control. That's a dog overflowing. Number 7. They bring you their weight. This is the one almost everyone misses because it looks like nothing at all. You think they're just being clingy or angling for a scratch behind the ears. Your dog wanders over while you're standing at the counter and just leans, rests the full weight of their body against your shin and leave it there. Doesn't ask for anything, doesn't even look up, just presses in. But that lean isn't needed. That lean is an anchor. Here's what's actually happening, and it's quietly beautiful. Calm, physical affection between a dog and their person. The stroking, the leaning, the simple resting against is linked to a rise in oxytocin in both of you at the same time. Oxytocin is the bonding chemistry. It's tied to the same kind of connection as a parent and a child, the one that says you are mine and I am safe with you. In one study published in the Veterinary Journal, researchers found that this kind of gentle contact raised oxytocin in both the dog and in the human together, while blood pressure dropped in both of them. The calm moved in both directions, across the exact point where they touched. So when your dog hands you their weight, the piece of it isn't only theirs, it crosses over. It becomes yours, too. That's part of why a hard day can soften the moment they press into your leg. Your own body is quietly answering them. Think about what that actually means. A happy dog doesn't just feel good somewhere private, on the inside. They reach over and fold you into the feeling. Out of every soft surface in the house, the couch, the bed, the sun-warm rug, they choose your body as the place to set everything down. That's why you felt it. That slow, deliberate lean into your leg while you're standing at the sink, the small sigh that comes with it, the whole warm weight handed over like it's the most natural thing in the world. This is the one to remember. The happiest thing your dog does isn't the tail, or the zoomies, or the wiggle in the hallway. It's quieter than all of those. It's choosing you to be safe against. Number 8. The toy delivery. You think they want you to throw it. And sometimes, sure, they do. But watch closely the times they bring the toy over, drop it right at your feet, and then just look at you. No crouch, no bouncing, no spring-loaded begging for the throw. They just brought it to you and stopped. Here's what most people don't realize. Bringing you a prized object. The slobbery tennis ball, the flattened squeaky duck, the one toy that has somehow survived 2 whole years of love, tends to be a social gesture, not a transaction. It isn't always a trade, and it isn't always a request. A lot of the time, it's simply sharing. And sharing only happens with someone a dog truly trusts. A happy dog wants you, out of everyone in the world, to have the best thing they own. And think about what they're overriding to do it. For most animals, a good thing already in their possession is a thing instinct says to keep, to carry off, to settle down with, to quietly guard. Walking it across the room and laying it down at your feet is the exact opposite of guarding. It tends to be a small act of trust that runs against the grain, offered up like it costs them nothing, when, on some older level, it costs them quite a lot. That's why you've ended up with a damp tennis ball dropped in your lap and a dog standing there, tail going, staring at you like they just handed you a small fortune. Here's the thing. To them, it is a fortune. That's the entire point. Number 9. They simply choose you. You think it's a habit or coincidence. They're just always around, underfoot, in the way. But this last one is the quietest sign of all, and maybe the deepest. Give a dog the entire house. Every couch, every warm sunbeam, every cool tile floor in summer. And a genuinely content dog still keeps drifting back to whatever room you happen to be in. Not for food, not for a walk, not because anything at all is happening, just to be where you are. There's real science under this. Back in 2008, researchers ran a version of the classic strange situation test. The very same kind used to study how young children bond with a parent, and found that dogs show what's called a secure base effect toward their owner. With you in the room, they explore more freely, settle faster, and bounce back from a scare quicker. And what that means is simple and a little staggering. You become the fixed point, the safe center that the whole rest of the world gets measured against. So choosing to be near you when there's nothing on offer and nothing to gain isn't random, and it isn't nothing. It's a dog quietly telling you that you are in the place where the day finally makes sense. That's why you've looked up from your laptop and found them already there, settled on the floor a few feet away, not touching you, not asking for a single thing, having followed the soft gravity of you into the room without you ever once calling them. Not because they need you, because near you is simply where happy lives. So remember those quiet signs you'd been looking right past all this time? The loose wiggle down the hallway, the play bow in the middle of the room, the long sigh as they hit the floor beside you, the slow blink from across the room. The belly was left open in the afternoon sun, the frantic loop around the couch that ended at your feet. The toy was carried over and set down like a gift. The way they kept drifting back to whatever room you were standing in. Every single time they leaned their whole weight into you and you thought it meant nothing. None of it was nothing. All of it was the same quiet sentence, said 9 different ways. I feel safe here. I'm happy here. Out of the whole world, I choose right here. I choose you. So tonight, when they wander over and sigh and settle their weight against your leg and slowly go still, look at what's really happening in front of you. Not the loud thing, the quiet one. That's not just a happy dog. That's a dog who finally feels safe enough to stop performing, to stop watching the door, to simply be, because of you. And that quiet contentment, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.